Okay, cool. We are live. I think this is good. I just did a live video in the other group, which we have that's called Essential Oil Basics. And it's for basically anyone in their life who wants to know more about hormones, or I'm sorry, and wants to know more about oils. I'm talking about hormones and I just read hormones. And they're like, I want them to become a member and join me in this oil journey. We have a group for them. This one's actually just for Young Living members. So congrats if you're in here. I love that you're here. And we're going to talk about hormones because it's one of my most common asked questions people ask all the time. What do you do for hormones? Like, Bethany, how did you go from being 13 years old and on the floor and going to the emergency room during your period to having literally pain-free periods and actually enjoying my life during a period? Honestly, I feel better during a period than when I'm not. And so for the men, sorry if that's TMI, but it's just true. And when I was a kid, I just thought that's normal. Like, that's just the way it works. You're on your period, you feel horrible. My grandmother at the time, I remember hearing things about menopause, hearing how horrible it is. And I'm like, wow, that's just how it is. But then I realized as I started learning more, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's not how it is. That's actually only in our culture how it is. So this is really important that we be talking about, because we don't have to live that way. I mean, if you're having a normal cycle, that means that 1/4 of your month is spent uncomfortable if you're having an uncomfortable cycle, and not to mention the ups and the downs and the hormone swings. So let's talk about what's happening in your body, how we can fix it and make it even better, and what's helped me. So, all right. So my first pregnancy, kind of my journey to the hormone situation, was in my very first pregnancy. I miscarried at around 12 weeks, 12, 11, 13, who knows. And I was devastated, obviously. I mean, I just was so excited. I had gone through the first trimester. I was ready to have this baby. And so going into the ultrasound room with my doc, my ultrasound tech, Jackie, she just was like, we were just shocked. And it was really sad. It was just a really, really sad day. And so 2 days after that, I was searching. I met Jordan. Jordan shared with me that she had 8 miscarriages and that she had figured out a way to naturally heal her body. And I was like, totally interested. So she had me over to her house. She shared with me, and then she also had me call into a class that was happening the following night. And I listened, and I don't remember everything she said, but basically she started talking about these essential oils and how these essential oils were designed to support our body. I mean, ancient history shows there are documents upon documents of oils that were helping people in days where people were, carrying all of their belongings on the back of a cattle and a back of a horse, and they chose to bring their oils. Like, that's saying something about the value of these oils. And so she started talking about that, and she talked about how sometime between then and now, things had just kind of gotten, different, and we were unhealthier. And I was like totally in agreement. I'm like, who had a miscarriage 50 years ago? Nobody. And if they did, they didn't talk about it. And so what's the emotional root of that, and in the kind of cellular trauma we're carrying from that alone. And so I remember her telling this way I can make my own deodorant with purification and arrowroot powder and get rid of my toxic deodorant. And she kind of correlated that deodorant can also contribute to hormone imbalance if it's got the toxins of hormone imbalance in it. And so I was all down. I was ready to get pregnant and, have a healthy body. And so I started studying on the way hormones work. And I learned in that process that in a normal 28-day cycle, which is ideal, day 1 is when you start your period. And from day 1 until day 14, until you ovulate, your estrogen is slowly climbing. And when your estrogen hits a point that your body says, oh, estrogen's good, let's release the luteinizing hormone, which is going to release an egg into the body, ready to get fertilized. And we're going to just release all these hormones, help this egg get fertilized. It's going to be great. And when that egg is fertilized, we're going to take that egg and put it into the lining of the uterus. uterus, and we're going to implant it there and then hope that the progesterone can keep growing so that this egg can become a full functioning baby. This is going to be so great. And so what happens is that estrogen goes up, the luteinizing hormone spikes, our body ovulates, and then we release an egg, and then the body at day 14 starts to produce progesterone, and it's going up. And ideally, progesterone and estrogen are rising like this together, and then the egg is fertilized. It's so exciting, and we just continue growing throughout pregnancy and have a happy baby at the end. That's what our body wants. We're designed to have a baby. Okay, but what sometimes happens, and if the egg isn't fertilized, let me just say, just in case that, day 17, egg isn't fertilized, day 18, egg isn't fertilized, the body's like, okay, this round is not going to happen. Let's dump all those hormones out of the system, dump it in the trash can, and we're going to go all the way back down to 0. And day 28, all those hormones drop off, and it signals the body, let's release the lining of the uterus and start over and get a real fresh slate for in case that next egg gets pregnant, right? And so what happens, though, in the culture that we live in, there are so many estrogens around us that typically all of us, most people, I would say 99% of people that I've ever talked to, are so estrogen dominant that they can't keep up. Their progesterone just can't keep up, and it inhibits them from getting pregnant, staying pregnant. Obviously, there are other situations that can keep a woman from getting pregnant, such as like actual structural differences in the fallopian tubes and things like that. And of course, a man has a part to play in fertilizing the egg. But typically, when it's a woman, what I've found is it's typically estrogen dominance. And let's talk about how that happens. So people have these diagnoses such as endometriosis or PCOS, and those diagnoses are coming from a body that has had estrogen high so long that it's become a chronic problem, and the body starts acting differently. It's not random if you have it. It's not random, and it is reversible. People say things that aren't reversible, and they're not giving credit to the science that shows that the body has the ability to heal way more than we give it credit for. So first of all, I guess before we even go any further, I feel the need to say, if you feel like you have, believed something about yourself that is you have claimed disease as it's your own, like I have XYZ problem, rewrite that story, rewrite that right now. Your body is incredible. And, I can give you more resources on that. And obviously there are things that are real and real situations, but give yourself more credit than you're giving yourself. Things can get better than they are. Okay, so the two types of estrogen, phyto is from the earth, soy, edamame, things that grow from the earth and can have natural estrogen in it, estrodols. And then xeno is from the lab. So things like the way they chemically treat wood, that sawdust is xenoestrogen. Our body absorbs it as estrogen because it's made in a lab, and it's just the way that our cells receive that specific chemical from the lab. Another example, gasoline is a xenoestrogen. Anything with the word paraben in it is xenoestrogen. So like parabens in products, like you can see your lotions, shampoo, conditioner, they have parabens. Anything that is the paraben sisters, ethyl, methyl, propyl, paraben, and I think there's one other one, methyl, ethyl, propyl. I don't know, there is another one. There's 4 of them that are common. Parabens are xenoestrogens. They build your body's estrogen to help your body not be able to keep up with progesterone. Your body's not in balance at that point. Preservatives and dyes in foods that are so common, and people call it foods. And I actually just came across I'm not gonna be able to find it on my Instagram, but this trainer posted a photo of this brownie, and it says, do the most good with this, buying this brownie. It supports whatever, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, you're not doing the most good, because more people are dying from obesity and hormone imbalances caused from this brownie than they are dying from the cause that you're trying to support. It's not working. And so this takes a level of discipline that is so much higher than most of us have, but it's really important. If you want something that is going to require your body to work differently, you're going to have to do something that most people won't do. And that is work on diet and change products, and don't eat out of plastics or plastics that contain BPA. Microwaved food is not good for your hormones, and especially if you're microwaving food in plastic. So those are 3 things that you can change that are very, very practical, and it will help so much. So I'll give you a list if you want to screenshot. So oil-infused natural products, you can replace your face products, your lotions, your cleaners, your shampoo and conditioner, your deodorants with natural, all natural, oil-infused products. If you don't want to order it from Young Living, that's fine. Go make your own and add Young Living oils, super cheap. I make a face face wipe, makeup remover wipes that cost next to nothing to make. And I infuse them with lavender and frankincense, and my face feels amazing after. So really focus on these products and pick one a month. And in 6 months, you'll have most of your toxins out of your home. All natural food, drink tons and tons of good water, natural water that's been filtered, fluoride is filtered out of it. All the nasty chemicals that they have to put in to make it actually like legal to go into your faucet, like get a good filter. I use the Berkey water filter. I know there's several other water filters on the market. I love our Berkey. I have a special place in my heart for it. Rooted vegetables that are from the earth, organic if possible, a low stress lifestyle, meditation, self-care, loving yourself, getting back to the roots of those emotions. I have a book, and it's a whole nother conversation for another day, but it's super applicable. And if I had it here, I would grab it. It's a little blue book, and it's all about emotions. And I realized that for me, part of my struggle with maintaining a pregnancy, and I don't know if this is applicable to you, was the fact that I wasn't in touch with my own femininity and feeling like unworthy as a woman because I'm a different type of woman than my beautiful mother, who's so amazing, and I love her so much. We're different. We have different drives. We have different personalities and different sizes. And so for me, releasing that and accepting and loving myself truly, coming to myself with love was a huge part of healing my hormones as well. Life changers. This is Amber's list, and she can come in here another time and tell you about it. But EndoFlex is amazing for supporting your endocrine system. With the world we live in, drinking coffee. Cheers. Sorry, I didn't mean for that to take so long. I was just going to be cute and drink it, and then there was like hardly any coffee left. Drinking coffee is struggling to our adrenals. We need support there. And I still haven't given up my coffee, so maybe that's my next step. But EndoFlex is an oil blend that can really support you in that. And then Thyromin is a supplement that can really support your thyroid. You might not need thyroid support. There's a basic basal body temperature test you can do to figure out if you need Thyromin. And so just Google it, basal body temperature test, thyroid support, all that. You can get all the details. This one right here, Progestins Plus. Progestins Plus is an oil that has a yam extract that is natural progesterone, micronized progesterone. If you want to know, well, I can tell you in here because we're in this private group. Technically, it says to apply 2 to 4 drops of Progestins Plus to the stomach, feet, or inner thighs each day, rotating application sites to avoid applying to the same area 2 days in a row. For added effects, 1 to 2 drops may be applied. Now, for me, I was using this topically on my wrists and ankles when I was trying to maintain my pregnancy with my son, Mac. And my labs were not changing, and my hormones were not changing. My progesterone was drooping, and I needed it to get higher. So I reached out to some friends, and I said, hey, what can I do? This is not suggested use on the bottle, but way back in the day, before they had the labeling requirements, there were women who would drop it under their tongue for a faster absorption into the body. For me personally, I found that by dropping 5 drops of Progestins Plus under my tongue every single night, my levels went from 14 to 18 in 5 days. And then in another 7 days, it was from 18 to 32. So it helped a ton. I don't think that you should use this in pregnancy just a small amount of time. If you start with it, you need to continue with it because your body needs progesterone. And if it's relying on this and you take it out, that could be bad news. So don't do that. Also, if you have any questions, you can ask your doctor. I'm not prescribing or telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what worked for me. Now, another thing I want to mention on this bottle, and if you get it and you're alarmed, I want to read. It says, warning, this product contains an ingredient known to the state of California to cause cancer. Why is that? Well, in California, they haven't updated their laws in a really long time, and they identify every single progesterone, whether it comes from the earth or a lab or a pill or anything. They identify all of the progesterone as a potential ingredient known to cause cancer. When in fact, natural progesterone has been shown to be very, very effective in preventing certain types of estrogen dominant cancer, but California doesn't recognize that. So every other state does, California does not. So I choose to use it because the research that I've seen shows nothing but good things about it. I just didn't want you to read that and be alarmed. I love this. Okay, Dragon Thyme is an oil that you basically can get for during that time of your month. If you're struggling, you just put a few drops on your wrist or ankles or even on your abdomen, and it can really help you during that time of month. Okay, you guys already know about the premium starter kit. You already know about Essential Rewards. I hope if you don't know about Essential Rewards, this is the best way to get these oils. So it's an optional program that you have with your membership. You're already good to go on the membership if you're in this group, but if you're not on Essential Rewards, you get cheaper shipping. You get up to 25% points back on anything you spend. That's like free money to spend. You get freebies every single month, depending on how much you order. You can see the cover photo of this group for more details on that. You can customize your order every single month. It's completely customizable. Like, let's say the first month you're like, I want to get Progestins Plus and Clary Sage. And then the next month I want to get Thyromin and Dragon Thyme. You can change it up every month, and you can cancel at any time, even though you won't want to. So those are the details. Now, if you want to get a roller, a Progestins Plus roller, then what I would love for you to do is get a class on the calendar. If you have never taught an essential oil class before and you need help, I can be the facilitator in helping you connect with your nearest silver upline or nearest upline leader that you connect with that can help teach a class for you. Or if you don't have that, then I'm happy to do that. But pretty much everyone in my organization has someone between me and them who's well qualified and knows how to teach a class. And so I'm happy to help you connect. So basically, if you want to get a roller, book a class today and just comment when you've booked that class, and we'll get you a little Progestins Plus roller today from this thread. Okay, it has to be today for this promo because I know this video will probably get bumped. So today is June 26th. So if it's not June 26th, we would still love to get you on the calendar, but I can't promise that I'll be sending Progestins Pluses for the next few months. Okay, you guys, I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. I hope this helps you in some way. Can't wait to talk more about different ways to support hormones throughout the woman's journey, not just childbearing years. We'll be in touch about that. All right, guys, have a great day. Bye.